Everybody, what is going on? This is Chris Flowers. Here's the deal. Now, this is literally the third time we've tried to pull this interview off with Greg Goshorn. He is the founder of Mapping Your Marketing AI. We've tried to schedule this a whole bunch of times, and he had to reschedule. I had to reschedule. Then we actually pulled it off, but due to technical difficulties, we're making it work. So we are doing this thing. It's outstanding. Thank you so much for your time, Greg. I certainly appreciate you, buddy.
Hey, adapt, improvise, overcome.
Improvise, adapt, overcome. You got to improvise first, then you adapt, then you overcome.
Oh, thank you.
I'm a military guy, so trust me, that's gospel for us.
Excellent. I love it, man. And we will win.
Absolutely. All right, so let me read you in real quick. So Greg Goshorn is the founder of Mapping Your Marketing AI, a leader in AI-powered solutions that help business owners save money, increase revenue, and productivity. As an AI trainer, strategist, and consultant, Greg specializes in blending AI with human expertise to cut through the hype and show people how to leverage AI to improve their business and life. And just being in 8-7 with Greg and everything that he shares, and he's you got what's your group in 8-7 also?
Excellent. So I'm a founding member of a little place called Business Tech Corner. We've
Yes.
been around a few years. We were, for the 8-7 folks, it was one of the first business evolution meetings. You do not have to be technical. We're all learning together, failing together, growing together. Thursdays at 11. Find us on the calendar.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to that because the more, like I said, you have to adapt as a business owner, and AI is here, and the more you try to fight it, you're just going to get buried. So I need to.
And not only my room. I mean, we've got one of the top internationally ranked LinkedIn profilers. We've got CRM. We've got we've had the Google gal. We've got Kristen for systems and I mean, there's just a ton of gold over there.
Wow. Yeah, I'm definitely trying to get into that for sure. No doubt about it. Okay, so I like to ask everybody a fun question. Okay, a couple of fun questions because like I said, it gets everybody get to know you, they get to know me, things like that. So of course I asked you if you were a Mac or an Android guy.
Indeed, and what you're reminding me, killing my volume on my Android to answer your question.
Yep. That is unfortunate.
Long time IT guy. So Windows networking, Androids is my world.
Yeah, obviously you can tell by my reaction. I'm a Mac guy. So, and because I was, of course, being everybody uses Windows. I used to use Windows, and I have a buddy of mine, Brian Georges. He started a shop out here called Mac Media, and he's been preaching. I'm like, oh man, and it all started with an iPod. That was the first Apple product I got, was an iPod.
I still got one of those. Those are great.
And once I started with that, it just kind of progressed, and then he got me. So,
but they're solid, man. I mean, it's like the Ford and Chevy debate. If each one was
exactly
as bad as the other one's bad, wouldn't be millions of them.
Exactly. Just preference. Like I said, I drive a Ford. I drive a Ram. Okay, yeah, exactly. But you know what? In the end, it's all good, man. It's all good. Okay, so also, like I said, personally, when I'm working on admin stuff, I hate it. It's like my, things like that. I got to do something that pumps me up. So I got my gym music playlist on. So I got some metal in there. I got some hip hop, things like that. But when I'm getting more creative, things like that, I like to throw on a little bit of jazz. That's, kind of like my thing. But I was wondering, like, when you're going through a project and things like that, what do you have going on, man?
Oh, I do. I love your questions. Yeah. So doing the project from that lens and sitting over here, this machine I sit in front of a lot. If I do something, I would have like some relaxing music, probably, no words. I got the station, on the tube, it shows a beach and waves stuff. That said, I'm a musician. I love music. We got other playlists for the road trips. We have custom ones for road trips. We got Mexico CDs.
That's cool, man. That's cool. And then I know, I said, you're a musician. My dad was a musician, so I grew up listening to like Earth, Wind, and Fire and Chicago and Santana and all that kind of stuff too. So I definitely have a different. I have an appreciation for it. I never could play a note, but definitely have a appreciation for musicians for sure. My daughter is actually even her boyfriend plays guitar and now he's playing bass, and they're both playing together and stuff like this. That's kind of cool.
Oh, I love that story. I'm telling you.
And my son even like played the trombone in the band too. He was like,
hey, it so integral, music to life.
Yeah, I definitely I'm a horn section guy. Let's say grow up listening to Earth, Wind, and Fire in Chicago, and all that. So I'm a horn section guy too.
Yeah, lovely. I know a bunch of pro horn players, man.
Wow,
I love that. Ain't nothing like a backup section, dude.
Come on. Or maybe that's just for guys our age. I don't know.
It's timeless. People still listen to this stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh my kids, like I said, they grew everything I listened to, man. Yeah, absolutely, no doubt about it. My son, actually, believe it or not, I show the kids the '80s movies, Breakfast Club, Ferris Bueller. I showed them Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and he heard "Shake It Up" by the Beatles. And then he went over to Apple Music and just started downloading everything the Beatles and just got totally into the Beatles from watching Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Timeless parade scene and timeless band.
Right?
We see kids out here, they're like wearing Led Zeppelin shirts.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this and the quality's quality.
Yep. I even, like I said, I went to go see Kiss on their 800 millionth final tour out here. My wife got me tickets for the last one, and there were kids like 18 years old wearing Kiss shirts. I was like, and they were into it. I was like, hey, right on. Cool.
Lovely. Man,
all right,
talk about this.
We can talk music all day. Well, let's get down to it before something else happens and it messes up our interview.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. So your tagline emphasizes helping businesses get found, get chosen, get remembered. So can you share a success story where that approach significantly transformed a client's business?
Oh, I love that one. It's almost elusive, right? Like there's so much to unpack in there. And so I want to say this at the beginning. Historically, for a long time, I'm old. We were on the internet in the mid 90s. We've had a boutique internet solutions company since then. So there's a whole marketing division that's actually older, obviously, than the AI division. And a lot of that comes from that. And so getting found. So this is, the internet's a big place, SEO, right?
Right. It's an ocean.
All the things, there's depth on all of this. But really, we love the getting chosen. So 8 years plus, we've been beating the drum for reviews, reputation. We helped coin the term reputation marketing. So not only do you gotta, get on top of what we call manage, right? Get it under control, get the listings, do all that. That helps you get found. Build, so gathering real reviews, super, super important. And then really marketing reviews. So you've built this asset. Look, you've done a good job. People have said good things. Lead with that. Put that out there, right? And so that helps you get chosen because there's a buyer's journey, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And so there's lots of solutions in the world. So first you got to get on the radar. And then once you're in part of that like small set, you need to get picked from the other people,
True.
And reviews is the social proof, undeniable. I mean, back in the day, we had the thought and the vision, and now the stats are undeniable. They're in the 90 plus percentile, people look at reviews when buying. I mean, you do. I do.
Yes.
Everybody does.
Right. Absolutely.
So
go ahead. Sorry.
I just say, so that's helped transform our clients' businesses for years and years. We've used these things that we've deployed, and that's actually kind of the genesis. Well, aside from being a geek, we've used this AI stuff in the agency for like, 5, 6+ years, to do content, to create these amazing review commercials that had, AI models like 5 years ago. And so that kind of stuff transform their presence, right? That's what they've seen some big lift because they can get found and then they can actually get picked, get chosen.
I was fortunate enough. I asked some of my former guests on to do some testimonials for me. And I didn't say anything. I just say, hey, would you be willing to do a testimonial? And I didn't say, hey, didn't tell them what to say. I did nothing. And I was really fortunate to get some really great testimonials back. And it helped me also because I hadn't really realized, I'm a solopreneur, you know how it is. Like I said, you start the grind and things like that. You're just grinding, you're doing your thing. But when you hear these words and they're taking their time and they're doing these testimonials and they're telling you, hey, you know what, Chris made, it made the interview so easy. It was comfortable. It was fun. We laughed. I was like, wow, I didn't really realize what, so in a way it made me more motivated. You know what I mean? It pumped me up even more. And there's even those down days sometimes when it's like, hey, you know what? Getting kicked around a little bit. I can listen to one of those too and be like, hey, you know what? Okay, hey, this, and cut through it. I mean, it kind of helped me because it makes me want to stay up and stay, keep the quality and
love that story.
Keep the performance, dude.
Yeah, great job. And I've seen some of them. So here you are, you're doing the thing, right? You're sharing these reviews, so it's an asset to the company, and they're out there, and they do make you feel good.
No, it really does. It keeps me. I gotta keep that standard at least.
That standard, and here's another little nuance from the whole capturing reviews. So some people don't want to do it because they might get a bad one, and frankly, you're going to get some in the world, but you get some insight by getting that feedback.
Yes.
So they might say things that were an outcome or a transformation or a benefit that you didn't think or you didn't put it that way, and now you can go forward and start saying that, and that might resonate with the next future customer.
Yeah, absolutely. You like hey, I didn't realize that was going on. So hey, absolutely. Okay, so with over 20 years of digital marketing, I mean, how have you seen the landscape evolve, and like what key strategies have remained in effect through the changes? Because we changed strategies, like changing like t-shirts here. So it's like, but what has stayed tried and true?
Ooh, I love that one. So we've been around a while, and those were the dark days. Those were dial-up and handcrafted websites and things like that. So certainly the landscape has changed. And it's funny, I came across one of my old cards and it talked about strategic and tactical.
Okay.
Which is a tremendous way to think about things, right?
Yeah, let's elaborate on that.
And so to your point, the key strategies that have been there are the timeless ones, like, attract, nurture, convert, take good care of. Those don't go away. They're foundational, right? Now, what the tactics have surely changed. Probably, if we're looking at the spectrum, email was then and still now, and actually still demonstrable ROI. Build your list. But now we've got all of these things. We've got, social and video, which obviously you're heavily embracing, and it's tremendous. And so that's really those things, you just do them in new ways. But these strategies are what successful people do.
Nope. Sometimes some things are tried and true, and like look at Vance. Like I said, Vance is old school all day long, and he's still, Vance Morris. There's certain things like he was like, nope, we're not changing, but it works, man. But it's working for him, and it's working.
He's got some great stuff over there. So I'm a fan.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, brother.
I'm a student of all of it, right? And no doubt. I mean, this is, and everybody's kind of got their own style too, as you should, right?
Yep, absolutely. All right. So mapping your marketing AI off services like SEO, GMO, and LMO. okay, I don't know what GMO and LMO really are, so I'm gonna want you to elaborate a little bit. So can you explain GMO and LMO, what that entails and how they differ from just a traditional SEO?
Oh my goodness, I know. I really talk about cutting through the hype, and there's some dang jargon. So,
It's gonna get you one way or another, right?
and I really try not to. So, let's we'll do a compare and contrast, right?
Okay.
So, SEO, search engine optimization,
Right.
been around forever.
Long time.
So these other terms, and actually some of these have evolved. So like the LLMO is like large language model, so AI like ChatGPT,
Okay.
Claude, these platforms sit on top of a large language model, right, to provide the answers. Um, really, some of the new wording, and I sometimes use AI SEO to make it simple, like SEO in AI. The,
Yeah, that makes
and
sense.
it's evolving. So some people might say, GEO for like generative engine optimization. So essentially, it's getting found in AI, which guess what? This is now a thing. Now, Google, they dipped from 93 to 90.2%. But there is a large number of people that are using these search engines, and sometimes instead of like ChatGPT is up to 5 billion, right?
Wow.
Against the
Okay.
90 billion, right? I mean, the numbers are still insanely out of
But
scale,
look how rapid it's grown.
but
Look
it's
how
it's really happening. You look at these things, and so, but the point is that um, search is changing. That's undeniable.
true.
What rate is Google gonna die? SEO is gonna be dead. It's not. But you're the best practice is actually to stay in front of this thing. Like this is not gonna be. This is not gonna go away.
Mhm.
So getting found in that. Um, Heck, even Google does it. They have the AI overviews, right?
Yeah, they do.
So that all of a sudden now you're getting found in Google. AI is now the top of the page above the paid ads in
Mm.
Google's AI, and then they come out. It's not rolled out to everybody yet, but then you could go into AI mode once you do a search. So doing the
It's so
right
deep.
things to get found in there where a bunch of people are looking now and will only continue. So that's what we help with because we got decades of like getting found in SEO. Like we've got businesses that have been in the map pack, when you see the three businesses at the top and
Right,
they're in
right.
their city and their niche, literally for like 15, 20 years.
Mm.
Now, the good news is like a lot of that stuff is some of the same, but there's some different stuff too.
All I'm gonna say is this. I'm gonna keep this real simple. If you want to get found, get chosen, get remembered, just talk to Goshorn.
Thank you. Yeah, like
That's
let us do this. It's hard. There's a lot of things to do. Like go do your job and sell a
right.
deck or help your customer, however whatever your revenue generating
Whatever
activities
you're
are.
gifted in, yeah, whatever you're gifted in, and whatever whether it's, you could be a mechanic, you could be a chef, you could be an artist, you could be a ballet teacher, whatever it is, go do that because that's what you're gifted in. That you're not gonna see Greg and I doing that. That's a fact. But know enough, like I said, we talk about this all the time. Delegation is key, and just knowing that you need this service. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Just hire Greg. It's that simple. Right?
I outsource stuff. I mean, let people do what they're good at.
Yeah, 100%. What Andy Stanley wrote that book, Next Generation Leader. He goes, there are people out there that love to do what you hate. Pay them to do it. Done. Wrap. Over. Right?
Indeed, I love that one.
All right. So reputation management is crucial for today's digital age. We talked about reputation management a little bit. What common pitfalls do businesses encounter in this area, and how do you assist them navigating the challenges?
Ooh, yeah, it's been important for a long time, and now it's
Mhm.
really top of mind, right? And we'll take your dang example. Like, some people don't ask. Like you said, you asked.
Mhm.
So ask them. You could add something to that. You could say some qualifying questions so we don't get something like, "Oh, that one's great." You could say, what was your problem? How did we help you? What did you have any aha moments? You could, not lead them per se, but try to get more than just a one-liner out of them. But just doing that work, asking, right? So you could do that in person. You can do it in messaging. You could do it in email. You can do it in text. You can do it in your subject line. So just
Okay.
do it, making it easy too, right? So, either like yours, I noticed doing video, that's actually a little higher ask than just like, here's a direct link to my Google business profile. Opens up the leave a review box, right?
I'm all about video, bro. I'm all
Yeah,
about
so
video.
you should look. That is your pillar.
And I'm probably gonna have to change my shirt now because I spilled some coffee on it. So during the break, I'm probably gonna change. So
Okay,
I'm all about video, but
there you go.
this is the time of it where it kind of bit me. So
Gotcha. So it's
oh man.
really it really is a thing. So that's helped them, overcome these challenges and I'm a marketer, so it would be I don't know if I can let myself pass without. By the way,
Come on.
we have all kinds of stuff. We have DIY, so do it yourself. Do it with you or do it for you. So you can go out and get an ebook about a guide on like growing your 5-star reviews, your presence, right? You can get that at leveragereputation.com. So you can jump in and do this, right? And then you can actually find, here's what's neat. We love this one. We actually have a complimentary business marketing score. So like find out like how you're doing, like how you're being seen online, right? I mean, if you're doing business in the world today, you got to be doing business online.
Right.
And so we can show you like, well, it kind of starts with, guess what? A reputation section, like how many reviews, where are you listed, negative reviews, positive reviews. It will go into social, right? Another huge, important thing. It's always like your videos, right? I bet you're going to go 1, 2, 3 green checks across there, like video on the website, video in search engine, video on YouTube.
Absolutely.
For here's the deal of the Chris Flowers team over there. There's stuff about your website. So all of that is just available for free. It's what we call lead magnet, right? Delivering with value, proving our expertise, showing you how to do it. And I learned from one of my mentors a long time ago, like lead with your good stuff, give away your stuff, because first of all, nobody's going to do it. Well,
right.
Maybe 1 out of 100, right?
And
But
not nearly as well. And not nearly as well.
And mostly the upside is that they're going to be like, well, they know what they're doing.
Yeah, I just hired
And
Greg.
this is hard.
Yeah.
Can you help me? Can you do this?
We can. Of course we can. Be my pleasure.
Right. Yeah, indeed.
All right, man. Well, like I said, you touched on video marketing, of course, and we all know how increasingly important it is. It's just like AI. Video's here. It's staying. It's not going anywhere. So what innovative video strategies have you implemented to help clients in this totally saturated market now?
Oh, that's say I've been around a while.
You've been around
I'm
a minute.
seasoned. I'm a veteran. Let me reframe that. And so probably 12 years ago, 10 years ago, we thought video was going to be big. And it really wasn't a thing yet. Like Cisco, they make all the routers under the hood in the internet. And they said, well, by 2020 or something, like 80% of the traffic online is going to be video. And I think by now we're in 2025 when we're recording this here. It probably is a bunch of the lion's share and is highly engageable. Again, we have another ebook on that, like why video works, So, back in the day, we did a bunch of the stuff, the whiteboards and the explainers. And I still love those. So they still have a place. What we've actually been doing for a long time, probably 7 years, is a really great. So what do people want to see? Reviews, right?
Yep.
What do they like to consume? Video. Well, we put them together in a 1-2 punch called a review commercial. So we showcase existing 5-star reviews in video.
Nice.
And it's got all kinds of stuff. Guess what? It takes no time for the business owner, so they can go doing what they're good at. And we can take these and we can put them in. You'll love this. Like, I'm going to go back into some jargon. We've got intros, we've got outros, we've got lower thirds, we've got calls to action, we've got spokes models. So all of that is neat in the watching it, right? But then, super important, when our proven system, we will syndicate it and optimize it and then push that out there, right? So remember, showing off your reviews, showing off the business asset.
Absolutely.
Well, we take these and we call it like broadcasting your reviews. So we'll turn them into these videos, and images and all this stuff, and put them on your website. And but especially just stay on the video side, because that was your question. We should optimize these and we put them on YouTube, which, getting found, #2 search engine, owned by Google, right?
Hello.
And so here is I always repeat myself because this is super important, right? In the buyer's journey, like, first of all, getting found, so you can have a Google that ranks, like, say, by some cool keyword, and probably be more towards the middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel. Not to be jargony again, but once they know who you are, they might do like company name and then like start to research you. Well, an autofill from Google's like company name space reviews, which actually a whole bunch of people do. So imagine somebody doing that, and all of a sudden there's a video of one of your 5-star reviews.
Right. That's awesome. That's powerful.
Ooh, yep. So that's one of the really great ones. So, we do other stuff. We make a thing called an expert video. So again, leading with value. So we interview, a business owner, an expert, and they give, like, say, 3 tips. And again, production value, it's non-salesy, but you're giving value. And again, call to action. Everything should have a call to action. We make ads, for, advertising. We make expert grams, so again, like, sharing tips. A lot of this is being out there, so to get found. So you're getting found in video, getting found on social, having this stuff on your website. Like, that's all the reasons that it works for you. So you can say invest in one video and put it 5 places,
and then you can get chosen.
So much, like I'm telling you about video. I mean, that's what you do. You help people build these assets, right? You should have a huge library of video assets.
It's growing every day.
Yeah.
All right, my friend. Well, like I said, we're going to take a break, and we're going to drop some sponsor ads in here. I'm going to go change my shirt, and we'll be back with Greg Goshorn. He is the founder of Mapping Your Marketing. Hold on one second.